How do that, chums, as I, Captain Steve. And today, chums, I'm going to try to cover off everything that this update brings to you in the viewerverse. Yes, I'm on about update of Prisms. However, Johnny 5 over here, I just want to cover off, he's got 3 new items, chums, for us to unlock by running Quicksilver missions. I want that fireplace at tier 3, heck yes, although it is coming up for the summer now and I probably won't need it on. I'm still wondering why the fudge we have the myth beacon appearing across all iterations when it has no real use, which is a bit freaking odd. Heck yes, it's odd. So, inside of the patch notes for Prisms, it mentioned that the Atlas stations and Derelict freighters, the station and the Nexus have all had these new reflective materials, all had affected lighting and all sorts of other stuff going on. So I want to go and have a look at an Atlas station. Polo has kindly marked up an Atlas station for I, and I'm heading on out and we're going to go see the Atlas. Heck yes we are. Lovely jubbly, just testing out my backpack there, pretty nice. This looks new, doesn't it? This little thing, was this here? Well, I think it was always here, it's just got a new light on it, just looks pretty darn sweet. I'm kind of looking at loads of things now and going, was that like that before? Yeah, it does seem that they have tweaked a fair few things. Even those little lights around the landing pads in there, they've tweaked a bit, which is pretty cool. I'm going to play some of my Bytebeat music, heck yes, play! So chums, I am hoping to cover off the Bytebeat in this video. Righto, where is it then? Where is the Atlas? It has not marked the Atlas, but it has lit up a shed load of black holes like frickin' Christmas trees. What the fudge is... No, by the looks of things I cannot select the nearest Atlas point, even though I have the mission selected, and Polo was supposed to have marked me out coordinates. It even said, you know, be careful, you know, we don't want to forget about you and all this sort of stuff. How bizarre is that? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to fly back into the Nexus. I'm going to select Black Hole this time from Polo, and I'm going to jump to the Black Hole area, call in the Nexus again, and yeah, hopefully then select the Atlas and see if that fixes it, chums. Because, yeah, right now, Polo has not sort of added the coordinates into my ship's GPS. That's a bit freaking weird. I'll see you guys in a sec. I'm just going to go do all that, and I'll reconvene and let you know if it freaking worked. See you in a mo. Righto, well that seems to have done it, chums. There we go. I now have an Atlas station that has appeared. So to do that, I had to go and select Black Hole first, jump to a Black Hole system. I didn't go through the Black Hole. I just called in the Nexus, went back in, spoke to Polo again, and asked for an Atlas station. So if you have problems getting him to give you freaking directions, it's a little bit squiffy. Yeah, squiffy and squiffiness. Right, okay. So in this video, as well as doing showing you everything that's new, including this new warp animation, I'm going to be giving a little bit of a synopsis. I'm going to give a little overview, a little review of what I think of this Prisms update. So let's fly into the old Atlas and let's have a look at the new enhancements of the Atlas station. Open Sesame Atlas. Okay, well this all looks fairly similar to how it looked before so far, chums. Let's just go on in. I mean, the station. Wow, the station. Mind-blowing changes there. Really, really awesome changes. But this, so far, looks exactly as it did before. Okay, I'm struggling to see any changes. Let me just jump out of the ship. Let's have a look at what I'm standing on. Okay, well, there's a reflection of my ship in the actual surface there, which is pretty darn sweet. So that's a change, and I can actually see my own feet there. I can see my feety pegs. Yeah, awesome. So it's just reflective surfaces, chums. That's pretty much what's changed here. There's nothing mental going on like what happened inside of the old station. This is pretty sweet. Yeah, nice metal floor. You can see my little reflections on my feeties. Nice. And I'm heading down this way. Oh, okay, this is the final Atlas place. This is where I could, like, reset the whole freaking thing, which I don't want to do, so I'm not going to go any further than there. I'm going to head back to my freaking ship. But yeah, it does seem to be that they have made some of the actual surfaces reflective. And there's maybe a little new lighting ambience in here, like those little blue plumes of smoke you can see in the background behind my head. Yeah, it's okay. Not exactly mind-blowing, but there we are. And if you are having super problems, here you go. I give you a portal address. So you can go find yourself one of these Atlas stations if you want to go and have a look-see yourselves. Righto, chums. Well, I'm down on a planet's surface. This is a bioluminescent planet, and I want to go and investigate the caves. Are the caves as awesome as they say, chums? We're going to go and have a look. Heck yes, we are. So this planet is just riddled with caves. In fact, this has got double-decker caves. You go in one cave and you drop down a level into another cave. It's freaking cave-alicious. Heck yes. Let's jump on down into this cave, and then you'll see there's another cave inside the cave. Heck yes. And it's all bioluminescent in here as well. We've got all these glowing little mushrooms. Isn't it wonderful? It really is. It does add to the actual carpeting of the actual cave mass. What I would say though is you can't scan these new cave-like flora. They're just there for decorative purposes, but they do look pretty darn frickin' sweet. And I'm glad that caves have been given a bit of attention. I would like to see cave critters in here, like a cave fauna that actually climbs walls. You know, like the ones on the Derelict freighters that climb all over the place? It'd be quite cool to have cavey-davey type creatures, and maybe even some bat-like creatures, ones that land on the ceiling and take off and all that sort of shenanigans. So yeah, it does seem that they've added a little bit of decorative detail to these caves, but other than that, they are still what they were before. There's still no real reason or purpose to go into a cave. I would like to see new materials and resources and new fauna added to caves. A simple reason to go into one in the frickin' first place, apart from to get poisoned to death by the hazardous flora that frequents caves. It needs to be worth it, chums, you know. Hazard versus reward, in my opinion, or at least for exploration purposes. I mean, yes, I might go into them just have a quick look at how they've been decorated, but it will be just a quick freaking glance. I'd probably go into camera mode and have a quick look in there, because I only go in there if I need to get some cobalt. That's the only real other commodity that's in a cave that isn't in a cave. Okay, now I'm going to tame a butterfly. Hello there, butterfly. I would tame a butterfly if I had my creature pellets. So yes, you are going to need creature pellets to tame their flying fauna. So here we go. I have my creature pellets. Come here, you butterfly. I'm going to feed you. Awesome. You will be mine. Heck yes, you will be mine. And here we are. Let's adopt this companion. Lovely. Now it is a little bit fiddly. Sort of interfacing with these flying creatures, but once you do, yeah, you can't actually put any of the customization mods on them or anything like that. But these creatures are fantastic for seeing the actual landscape and just having a slow fly session across the landscape. And you can still scan as well when you're on these things, which is pretty cool to find resources and stuff. There we go, which is pretty awesome. So there you go, creature adopticated. Lovely, awesome. You are my pet. Petication completed. But yeah, very cool. And a nice little way to get around on a beautiful planet such as this. Heck yes, looks like I'm on a dragon or something. Pretty awesome. I like the butterflies. Nice one. So these butterflies and also these caves are all on the same planet, and you're probably going to want the coordinates for such a wonderful place as this. So here we go, let me get you the coordinates. There's also some striders there and things, but it's the butterflies that are pretty darn sweet. Let me make that nice and big for you. There we go, and it is in Euclid. It's also in the NMSA hub, so you can throw down a base while you're here if you want to become my neighbour. You may see me frequenting these areas. Heck yes. Right, now in the station, we have this panel that's here, chums, and it's asking for an override. You can see there, station core, and it says about flight paths there. It's also got some text on here. Let me translate that text for you. So that text there says station status normal, system AI mode slumber. And yeah, it's asking for an override. A station override key. Now the station override keys are not in the game as yet, chums. I've got a friend who does the No Man's Sky Assistant app, Kurt Lawrence, and yes, he has actually done some data mining and he cannot find it inside the game files, so I don't think it's there to be found. And I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to see me do a video on such a thing, on the override, but I can't find it. So here we go. This is what I found over on Reddit as well. Somebody claims that they saw it as a mission reward over at the Nexus. So yeah, I've gone and tried that too. I've stood at the Nexus for a good 2 hours, and the missions change every 10 minutes. So yeah, And there you go. That's what I think is about true there. So there we are. And I think it's going to come in an expedition or as a reward or as a perk in the future. What that override chip does, though, I'm not too sure. I mean, it does say about flight paths, so I'm wondering whether it might spawn in a ship of your choice at the class of your choice. I don't know. You can choose from the flight roster or something, or all the ships that visited there, and call in the one that you want. Okay, so here we go. I've put up a poll as well, asking people what they would like to see a video on with inside of Prisms. Now, that was the thing that rung out the most. So I'm making this video that just covers off everything with inside Prisms quite loosely, chums. But yeah, that override chip, it ain't in the game, so I can't do the video, sadly, on that one. But this video should cover off everything else that was on the wish list. So here we go. This is me standing inside of the actual Nexus, seeing if the missions actually pop round. Now, I've got my clock synchronized to that of the interwebs, and yes, every 10 minutes on the dot, these missions change out and rotate out. Right, so I am going to be looking at the Bytebeat. I'm going to a base that has a Bytebeat, but I'm going to give you a bit of a review now, chums. Heck yes. So what I would say is, other than this Bytebeat, making your own tunes and sharing tunes with your friends and making tune playlists, there really isn't much to do in this new update. There is loads to see, and yes, the graphical improvements are very much welcome. I think this is very much like the Visions update that we had in yesteryear. Heck yes, that's review part 1. Well, okay, I'm now at my base, the base that has the Bytebeat device, and I'm going to head on over to the Bytebeat device. Now, when you put down a Bytebeat, it does have a default tune within it. And yes, that default tune can sometimes sound better than anything I can actually make. Because I am not a musician. I don't understand a thing that I'm doing in here. I mean, at the bottom, it shows the actual drum sequences, which is fine. And then at the top is the pattern sequences. And that's about as far as I get involved with this. So here we go. Let's interact with this thing. So there we go. You can see there I've got all my drums at the bottom. I've got all the patterns at the top. Lovely jubbly. If I go into my Bytebeat area inside of my menu here, if I can find the damn thing. It's a bit squiffy. Here we go. In here. And then all the way over there. I can now, because I'm standing in close proximity, copy from my Bytebeat. So it automatically picks it up. Think of Bluetooth and near-field technology. And yes, you can just give it a name. And there it is. There we go. Now I can just walk around and play this wherever I want. It's not just limited to inside of your ship. You can actually play this on your person as you're walking about on planets, which is pretty darn freaking sweet in my opinion. Lovely jubbly. Let's just turn it off for a second. And what I might do is put down a couple more Bytebeat machines and link them in. Because one Bytebeat machine just gives you one track. And you can have up to 8 tracks. So you can put down like 8 Bytebeat devices in total and synchronize them all together. I think it gets a little bit noisy after about 5 though. So I tend to only have about 4. So here we go. Let's put in some of these. So I've made a couple. And I'm going to have 4. I'm going to have a 4-track beat byte song. If I can find where they frickin' are in the menu. Okay, they're not under switches. Oh, they're over here. Of course they are. Where the light panels and all that sort of stuff are. Where you can make a mobile disco. I like to change the colours of these. So I might have red as being my bass line, and then I might have, say, orange as being the percussion, and then I might have that green colour maybe as being some sort of synth. Yeah, so there we go. I've laid them all in, and I have got different colours. Now all I've got to do is get the BeatByte cable, and you link that up to the notes, and that means that all these are going to be separate tracks. And there you go. I'm going to link it to this one. There we go. Done diddly. Awesome. But now I've got to give it power as well. And I wanted to share the same power circuit as the one that I've already got in. So the music plays when the door opens. There's no point in it playing when there's nobody here to hear the frickin' thing, is there? Right, we've got all those in. Now I can test it. So I'm just going to shut this door. And hopefully the music will start playing. Oh my frickin' ears! Ah, that's deafening and horrible and janky. I need to fix all of that. So all I need to do now is go over to each of these machines. I'm taking out the patterns. I'm taking out the drum beats. And then I'm going to lay in the things that I feel that it should be. So I like to make it a little bit melodic, and I like to make patterns. There we go. Simple pattern. Lovely jubbly. And then I'm doing the same with each of these. And I'm trying to remember where I've put patterns in the past and trying not to have patterns in the same places, or else it just sounds like layered noise, basically. There we go. And yeah, so I've got a cymbal, I've got a little, yeah, there we go, percussion line, dundily. Right, Now, when you press L1 and R1, you've got an extra tab, the synchronizer. There we are. And all you do is you can take these out. So you can put in a breakdown. So there'll be hardly anything there apart from a little drum beat, and then it all kicks back in again. But I'm going to make it slowly build up to the actual tune itself. There we are. And you know what? I'll just speed up what I'm doing and I'll let you hear it. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to take this out and make it feel like it's building. There we are. And I think that's about... No, actually, let's add a few more in there and let's have a listen to that. Well, that's about as good as my musical talents are ever going to get, so let's go stand by the Bytebeat, go into the menu. I'm going to delete the track that I had in there previously because I think it saved it how it was in its previous incarnation, so I'm just going to hold down R3 to delete that, and now I'm going to copy back from the Bytebeat. I'm going to call it Droid Beat again, just because it's in my autofill text. Lovely, done, and now I guess I can go and give this music to other players, I guess. Yeah, but at the moment I've got Dreamers playing. Let's just turn the music off. And now let's see if I can play my own tune from the actual menu. So let's go into here and let's go into there. Right, Dreamers is playing at the moment. You can't just select it there. So I guess I'm just going to have to use the next button at the top. There we go. And Droid Beat. And play. So chums, once you've got yourself a flying creature, the only thing that there is to do in this update so far, until we get that station override, is play with the Bytebeat. And if you're not a musician or a fan of the Bytebeat, then there really isn't much to do in this update. It's more visual. So here I am, up in the actual Nexus, and I'm hoping to give away my Bytebeat to some poor unsuspecting person. But anyway, I'm just going to hit up the missions, and we're going to see... No, it's still not there. No station override. And you can see there's even an encrypted mission there as well, but it just gives larval cores. So, no, I don't think we're going to get a station override. There's the factory override. I've seen that a few times in my 2 hours of standing here and watching missions rotate in and out. I mean, I was doing other things I was watching a few YouTube vids and stuff, so I was all good. Right, okay, let's have a look over here. Let's turn my network on, and let's bring in some multiplayers so I can give away my Bytebeat tune. Who's going to become the new owner of a fantastic Bytebeat tune? Well, I say fantastic rather loosely. It's the best I could do. Okay, well, it was the best I could do in like 15 minutes. I could probably spend a bit more time and make something slightly more tuneful, but no, I'm never going to be able to recreate the works of Mario or Zelda like some other people have done, which is frickin' ace. So yeah, if you do want to hit me up with some decent tunes, that'd be sweet. Right, so let's go into here and let's see if I can give this away. Right, so it says there, triangle? Hold on, I'm pressing triangle, nothing is happening. In fact, it just kind of went back. That didn't work. So it's not triangle. Okay, I'm going to try the X button, the jump button basically, the one that fires up my backpack. I'm going to be using that one instead because I'm pressing triangle, nothing actually happens. There we go. And I think that worked. Oh, I've gave him it twice. So maybe triangle did work the first time, but X definitely worked the second time. So there we are. There you are. You've now got a new tune. There we are. So... brilliant! Right, well I'm heading down to a derelict freighter, mainly because inside of the patch notes it said that they've delivered these upgrades to the reflections and refractions of lighting and reflective surfaces to all areas including the derelict freighters. So I want to go see if they've increased the ambience inside of here. So let's just run on in. And I can already see that there's quite a lot more sort of misty type fogging effects going on there. You know, where the ship had crashed through the ceiling, there was some sort of smoky fogging going on there. Okay, let's hit this up. Brilliant. And yes, there are some reflective surfaces, even in front of the console there. I could see some water on the floor, which is pretty nice. Okay, awesome. Let's get my freebies, because everyone likes a freebie. Heck, yes, they do. And let's head on in. There we go, let's trigger the doorway. Now, this always had plumes of smoke, but the smoke effects look far better than they used to. There we go, let's head on in. And I'm loving the laser lighting already. I mean, look at that, how it actually sort of changes colour as it hits objects as well, the pinky hues, which is pretty nice. Oh yeah, they're not the barrels that blow up, it's the blue ones that blow up. And you can see over there, the distance fogging. I can't even see what's over there in the corner now. Okay, well this makes it a little bit more interesting going through these. I mean, these are cold as heck, aren't they? So to have like the freezing fog on board of here kind of makes sense. I kind of like that freeze and fog type look, and the closer you get, it dissipates, just like fog does, you know, when you're in live. I like it. I like this a lot. This is really gonna make a difference to those in VR. It definitely is. Awesome. Well, let's just hit this up. Now I am gonna loot everything in here, just in case there is a station override, which, considering it's not in the game files, I think I'm looking for something that doesn't exist. I'm looking for a freaking unicorn right now, people, in these boxes. Yes, a whole unicorn. Imagine one of those stuffed in this box. It would have had to have done serious yoga or had some limbs seriously broken, one or the other. But unicorns, what am I looking for again? Station override, not a unicorn. Okay, this is a bit weird. These are unfixed. They used to do this before. They come right up in your face to the point that you can't actually shoot the little gits. Okay, I've come across a glass container here, chums, and one of them is smashed. You can see all the sort of smashy bits on it, but the glass is actually ribbed as well. That is so cool. I don't think I've come across glass effects done this well in a game, or maybe I just haven't played games for frickin' ages because I've been so invested in No Man's Sky, but I didn't see any of these sort of effects to this sort of level of detail even in Cyberpunk. But then again, we haven't had a PlayStation 5 version of Cyberpunk yet either, have we? Even though they said that we should get it in the first quarter of this year, but you know, things went completely tits up there, didn't it? Really, but there we go. I have looted everything that I could in here, chums, and I didn't come across a station override thing. So anyway, let's take on off and let's head on back to the actual station. I'm going to hand in these manifests to the actual persons in the station. I'm going to talk to them first to see if they offer me a station override, which I very much doubt that they're going to. But yeah, I don't think it's in the game files. I mean, if the people that do all the data mining can't find them, I think it's a future thing. We're going to get this as a future drop, which makes me think that it's going to be very near future. Otherwise, why put it there to sort of tease us? Yeah, I think it's coming soon. And it wasn't mentioned in their patch notes either, was it, on Hello Games' patch note list? Right, but something that was being able to swap your freighter for another freighter and keep your base. This is my perma file. And you can see here, I haven't even touched my base on my freighter, so I'm just going to make a very simple change. I'm just going to put a Galactic Trade Terminal on the frickin' wall, just there. Boom! Base done. Base completed. Excellent. Now I'm going to jump to another area of space, and I'm going to jump onto a freighter, any old freighter. I don't care if it's a C-class or whatever. This is an A-class at the moment, chums. It's not an S. And I'm just going to do a swap. One freighter for another freighter. I have, however, fully upgraded all the slots on this one. But this is my perma file, and I don't really play in permadeath, so I'm not really bothered. I just created an autosave there. I could revert back, hopefully, to the autosave and keep my freighter anyway if I do get unlucky and pick up an A-class or an S-class, a C-class or whatever. There's my Normandy outside of my window, chums. Hello, Normandy. So I claimed my Normandy across all saves. And now I'm really liking the expeditions for that. It's kind of like a new game plus whenever you want it. And yeah, you get all this extra decent chisel. Freaking awesome idea. Anyhow, here's a load of freighters. So I'm going to fly aboard this freighter. And we're just going to go claim it. We're going to go swap freighters. Hello there. Yes, I want your freighter. I don't really. I'm doing this just for the sake of my viewers. Righto, so I'm going to compare. Yeah, see, I'm going to lose a shed load of slots, but hopefully we can just restore. You know what, though? I think it creates a manual save as soon as you do a swap, chums. So, yeah. Only do this if you're prepared to swap and be happy with... Yeah, it just done an autosave, a manual save. Fudge. So I think I'm stuck with this freighter now, but I will do a reload him and load and just double check. And there you go, look at that. The base has transported over instantaneously. That's pretty darn freaking sweet. Yeah. Well, that was freaking crazy. Okay, well, let's do a reload of my autosave and let's see if we can get all my slots back, but I don't think I can now. Okay, well, I'm just taking one for the team on this one, chums. So, yeah, there is a manual save that does take place on the exchange of your freighter. So just be aware of that little thing. Well, yeah, I'm back, and I'm right back here. Yeah, so definitely lost my freighter on that one, chums. But yeah, at least you know now that your base instantaneously transposes over. You don't have to interact with the console in the middle of the floor up here. Heck no, it's just an instantaneous swap out. Yeah, try that at home, people. But yeah, just be a bit mindful. You know, exchange up, not down, like I just did. See you in a sec. Righto, so here I am back at my bases, and I'm going to be jumping over back to my big portal planet. So in this part of the actual video, chums, what I'm hoping to do is show you the storms and the changes to the storms, because apparently now when lightning hits it spawns in storm crystals. Meteorites leave deposits behind that you can then harvest for resources, so there is a little bit of extra something to do, but it's kind of weather watching. Okay, chums, well, I've arrived. Now, I used to do my egg asundos here and give away pet eggs and things. And if you was a viewer of that, you would see that I got all gnarly storm effects happening here. I get lightning storms, I get meteorites, I get all sorts of strangeness happen. Even giant sandworms have been known to pop up here every now and again. Talking of which, my pad is shaking. Yes, here we go. And there's a sandworm right in front of us. Hello, wormy mum worm. How are you today? He's a big one, isn't he? Look at that. That'd be cool if you could peticate that thing. Heck yes. Ride that into the Nexus. I don't think people would be too happy with me, though, if that thing drops a turd. Oh, my days, if that thing turded. That would be the end of the Nexus, I think. It would fill the whole thing up, wouldn't it? But there we go. Done. Awesome. No matter, yeah. Anyhow, we're here to actually look for storms, not for giant sandworms and talk about turd. But here we go. I'm going to scan this airborne critter. Hello, airborne critter. Oh, look. I've already named him the Procedural Traveller. Isn't it weird how creatures that you've already scanned still come up as undiscovered until you rescan them? Odd that. I hope they fix that one day. Anyhow, we're here to look for storms. Now, on that planet, like I said, during my pet giveaways, I would often see storms rolling in. I didn't get a single one, and I was there for about half an hour. So I jumped to another planet that I know has storms. And I've got this rain. I'd say rain, it's more like drizzle. It's not really coming down in sheets. And I'm not really seeing it overly affect the wetness look of my suit, like it said in the actual patch notes either. I have read, though, that they've pushed out another update to the experimental branch to improve the rain sort of animation. So perhaps this is getting tweaked. Because at the moment, I'm not really overly seeing too much wetness going on, if you know what I mean. Not as much as what they stipulated inside of the patch notes anyway. But there is a furry creature here. There is some creatures that have fur. I'll see if I can find one in a second. Here's one. Here's one right here. Look, he's got sort of feathers up towards his head end, his sort of hilt. And then down towards his tail, those feathers go so sort of thick that it's almost a fur. I really like these new fur textures that they've added to creatures. It is awesome. Looks like something out of Biomutant now. Very awesome. I like it. It adds a little bit of extra variety, which is fantastic. So this kind of builds on so many different updates, and it's kind of why I like this update so much. So now I've come to my raging storm planet. So this one is crazy. I mean, look, it's an extreme storm, and look at my bar just plummeting down. Now normally I call in my mech here because I haven't got any hazard protection in my suits anymore. I figured I'd just use the mech for whatever. And I'm looking to see lightning hit. And the whole time that I stood here, and I stood here for a couple of storms, and lightning did not hit anywhere near to this base. So maybe I need to be out in the actual sticks a bit for the lightning to hit and for it to spawn in a storm crystal. But no, I didn't actually see it spawn in a storm crystal, and there seems to be some sheet layering issues on this planet as well, which is a bit odd. There's some storm crystals just appeared over there. They weren't there a moment ago, chums, those two over there. They've now appeared, but I didn't catch it on camera. But yeah, it does appear that it will spawn in storm crystals where lightning touches down. But even that's a bit of a trek, and getting over there would be a bit of a mission. I'm on top of a freaking mountain peak at the moment, chums. Yeah, awesome planet, crazy planet. But yeah, it does seem to be that gathering sort of extra resources during a storm, you're going to have to be totally equipped for it. And as you can see here, I've had to recharge myself almost 3 times just in this short clip. I should really be inside of my exomech right now, chums, to sort of protect myself against this, to do this with proper justice. I may have to do videos on each of these things, but in more detail over the next couple of weeks. I just wanted to give a giant overview of the Prisms update and give a review and thoughts and feelings on it. So really I need to deliver on that, don't I? So yeah, like I say, this is sort of really added to the Companions update, and given us all the creatures that we can now tame and ride in these flyable mounts, which I think is awesome. It's also added a little bit to the actual storms and given the storms and extreme planets a bit more of a sense of purpose. It'd be nice if we could actually harness the extreme weather conditions and put down bases here that actually, you know, power themselves. That'd be freaking awesome. But yeah, I'm going to give this update a 9.0 out of 10. Yeah, I'm scoring it really high, mainly because of the amount of polish that it's given to previous updates and quality of life improvements, and it's also brought in a bit more variety with the textures of creatures and made the creatures a bit more diverse and a bit more interesting, so I think this is a step in the right direction. We had the Origins update, which I love to bits, and I feel that this is a good step in the right direction from there. They said that they were laying down a new foundation, but then no updates until now, in my opinion, have really delivered on that. And this is frickin' ace. And once we get another expedition, we're going to have loads to do. So although this is a cosmetic-y one, it's going to add. It's going to add. Until next time, people, you've been awesome. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. I want to say a massive, great big thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thank you to my backers over on Patreon and on YouTube membership. If you do want to support this channel, you could just not skip my adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and hit something on this screen. Heck yes, and there's also merch on this screen now. Awesome!